In the next 30-40 minutes, I'll try and give you absolutely everything I know about finding your first couple of freelance clients on Upwork. The examples will be specific to copywriting because that's what I do. But even if you're any other type of freelancer, this is going to help you a lot. Now, Upwork is this site where you probably know about it, but just to say it, because why not? It's this site where people post jobs, clients post jobs, and then freelancers have their profiles and they try and get the jobs. Simple as that. And at the beginning, it's extremely hard to get your first couple of jobs. And I've struggled with this for months. So I completely get you if you're getting ignored by everyone, if you're spending tons of money on Connect just to be ignored, and if you're really frustrated. I get it. And I was in your shoes just like 2 or 3 months ago. So I know exactly how you feel. And that's why I feel extremely confident in my ability to help you, because now I work, I have clients, and I was able to grow my hourly rate from 15 when I got my first job, actually from 0 when I couldn't get anything, to 15 and then to 30 in just 2 months, which I feel like is huge growth. But I still remember all the thoughts you have, all the insecurities you have, everything that's bothering you with Upwork and all of those things. So that's why I feel like I can really help you. Now, the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to write proposals, because that's the most important thing in all of Upwork. No matter what you do, you have to write amazing proposals. And if you follow the way that I do it, you'll probably get the same results that I did, which is to win my first couple of jobs. But just a quick disclaimer before I even show you anything. It's really, really tough. I want you to understand just how tough it is getting your first couple of clients on Upwork. You have to send a lot of proposals. I don't even want to say how many. I feel like 170 or something. And that's a lot of money if you know how much connects cost. And also it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort. So you will have times, trust me, I'm telling you this from experience, you will have times where you really will question whether you even want to continue, whether it's worth it, whether anything. But trust me, it is. It is, because it will happen. It will happen. If you follow the steps, you will land your first couple of jobs if you're actually good at the skill. If you're not good at the skill, then I can't really help you. But let's say you're decent, let's say you know what you're doing, you will get the jobs. No matter how long it takes, you will do it. And something that always helped me remain motivated was to think that there is no limit to what I can achieve in this Upwork journey, in this copywriting journey. Because your hourly rate and how much you make does not really have a limit. You know, it's not like getting a job and then what you make is what you make, and then maybe slowly over a long period of time you can improve that. No, here every couple of months you can kind of almost double your hourly rate if you play your cards right. And you can help bigger and bigger clients, you can achieve more. So it's so worth it to go through this, as I like to call it, shit phase, when you get no invitation, no responses, no anything, because it will happen. And then when you get the first job, getting the second one is slightly easier, the third one slightly easier. You stack a couple of these, it becomes much easier. And then one day you might even start getting invitations. Honestly, it's not that far. Like, you get a couple of clients, you already start having people come to you and be like, please, can you help us, because we can see how good you are. So just don't quit. Don't quit, because these things work. This literally works. Yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you before we start with the proposals. Lesson number 1. You have to forget the me. I'm just gonna start with basic advice because I don't know how advanced you are and how many videos you've already watched. If you're on this video, probably not that advanced. But anyway, never start your proposals with, my name is blah, 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 and I've been a copywriter for blah, blah, blah. I've. No, that's so boring. That is so boring, and no one is going to open your proposals. Because that's how everyone writes. And people with much more credibility. At your stage, you need to stand out. So don't do this. I don't feel like explaining it more than just don't do this. Lesson number 2. Also forget the you. So forget the me, and forget the you. I'm saying this because that's what you see on so many how to write Upwork proposal videos, but it's completely wrong. They tell you to say, I understand that you need an email copywriter who can be entertaining and persuasive. That is so just not grabbing. There is nothing interesting about this. Like, good job, you read the job post. Have to do more. And also, since these videos are so popular, everyone does that. Literally everyone on the platform went on YouTube and searched up how to write proposals. And those first couple of videos that show up all explain this. So you definitely don't want to do that. So, what is the right way? Okay. Now write these things down because they're very important. First, you have to do stalker level research to find at least the first name, if not also the company. It's just personal when you start the proposal with, "Hi, Philip." Or, even better, you can start the proposal with, "Oh, I'm guessing this is for X company, huh?" Also, I'll show you examples of the proposal later, so don't worry. Now just take notes and then listen. Because no one actually does this research. And you do this research by going into the job post. You go under their other jobs and you look at the descriptions of the other jobs. You actually open them. And this way, you can find other information, maybe about the company. You can find what company it is. And that's all that already stands out, doesn't it? When everyone just says, hi there, blah, 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 blah. Or hi name, blah, 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 blah. When you mention the company, when no one else does, obviously if it's in the job post, don't do it. But if it's not in the job post and you find it, you mention it. And that's how you stand out. Second step, even if you can or cannot find the company, doesn't matter. If you find it amazing, if no, the name is just enough. Second step, show just how simple this is for you. Clients feel a lot of relief when you write your proposals this way. It's just like going to a doctor and he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, I can see what this is, like it's simple." You say, "Okay, thank the gods, like someone will take care of me." That's the same thing that clients feel. When you say, "When this and this happens, it's simple to sell your offer because blah, blah, blah." Again, I'll show you examples, so don't freak out. They already see you as an expert, which is why number 3, to come off as an expert even more, you give a piece of advice. It shows you know what you're talking about. Maybe a piece of advice about what they said in the job post or about what the copy should do and things like that. Voice, whatever is relevant to the job post. Then, this is crucial, so listen up. You attach an example for every proposal. If you don't have one, you create one. And you don't say it's custom made for the job. You just send it. What do I mean by this? Let's say you find a job for email marketing for, I don't know, a shoe brand. You create an example of an email for a shoe brand and you attach it. Because in their job posts, in the job post, when the client looks, they see so many people just bragging about themselves, blah blah blah, but no one who they actually see that can do the job. So when you attach something you've already done, that's exactly what they're looking for, but not really exactly so they can steal it, but really similar, and they like it, then they're probably going to send you a message, because they can see that you know what you're doing, and they don't have to guess. So you really need to enter your client's mind and think what they want. They're really worried about hiring the wrong person, and when they see that you literally did the thing they want before even messaging you, it really reassures them. So that's why this method works amazing. Now, it takes a lot of effort, but do you want to get your first couple of clients or not? It used to take me about an hour for every proposal, but now, like, even after you make a couple, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those, then you can start recycling them, because you're going to notice that a lot of the job posts are actually quite similar. Then you match the tone of the person. If the job post is very professional, rigid, and things like that, then you should be as well. But if it's playful, then you be playful too. Again, you're a writer. You should be able to match the tone and do these kind of things. So, and yeah, here I say what combination of words will have to make them open. Reading your first line with that in mind is going to help you a lot. So let's recap. Stalker level research, showing it simple, giving a piece of advice, and attaching a proposal. These are the most important things. Now let me show you some examples. Okay. Okay, so this is actually a proposal that I've sent a couple of days ago that got me my first $40 per hour job, which the client then, he sent an offer. I was so happy. 3 minutes later, withdrawn. Oh, sorry, we realized we don't have time. I was quite mad, but whatever. I still got the job, so it's a good proposal. First, name. I couldn't find the company. Then I said, or it was already there. Yeah, it was already there. So there was no need to put the company. Then I showed it simple. In your cold emails, you just need to show what a no-brainer it is to use your amazing music for free and earn revenue from it. Now, you can say it simple, you can state it, there's nothing wrong with it. And you can also use words like just. You just need to convey it simple. One is not better than the other, they both work. So you just need to show what a no-brainer it is to use your amazing music for free and earn revenue from it. It's also a piece of advice, which is it's nothing special. It just shows that I understand what the email should do. Then the personalization will make people understand you're truly trying to help them. And the testimonials and proof will make the offer irresistible. That's more advice. That's more just showing that I completely get what we need to do. Then, here's a cold email sequence I wrote for a marketing agency to show you the style. That's literally it. That's it. I showed it simple, gave advice, and attached the piece. Now, I didn't have to make another one because I already had it. I already had one. And that's it. Then the next line, I said, the only issue is my availability, blah, 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 blah. You probably can't say that if you're just starting out. If you can, that's perfect. If you have another job or university, things like that, and you can say that you're busy with other projects, so you have an issue of availability, that's also good because it makes you stand out, it makes you high value. Obviously, if you're booked, then that's great. But don't lie, please. Actually, I'm not gonna tell you to not lie. Don't completely lie. If you need to, like, a little bit, no one is gonna ever find out, so don't worry about it. but maybe just don't, go over the top. Anyway, here I just answered the question. I don't have any advice for this. Let's move on to the next one. Which one is this? Yeah, perfect. Hey, name. I remember the company name was in the job post. When the program is actually good, they're really simple to sell. Sorry, here. It was about email copywriting for coaches. So when the program from the coach is actually good, they're so simple to sell. Next line. You just have to vividly sell the way the client will feel after the transformation. Otherwise, it's just another boring person making crazy promises. Advice. You see how I really understand the coaching space. Really understand. It's just something anybody could have said, but I think I just said it quite well to show that I get it. And I said it's simple. Here's a coaching email sequence I wrote to show you what I mean. Boom. So simple. It's so simple. And they see it's simple. They see I understand. They see I wrote exactly what they're looking for. Why not reach out? I'm making it hard for them to not reach out. Then this that I wrote, it's just because they wrote something like that in the job post. For example, I think they wrote, do not apply if you can only write heavy lifting, rather reader bashing, direct response copy. So I just quickly said something about that. You said not to apply, blah, 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 whatever. And then I got the job. It was great. Okay, last proposal. I had to restart the video because I actually showed the client's name and I'm not sure if I should have done that. So it reads, hey Kate, thanks for the invite. With real estate copywriting, you really have to go to give your personality and show, not tell. Again, advice. Could have said it simple. I didn't. It wasn't the end of the world. It was an invite. But still, I gave the advice. You're not, unlike everyone else, listing features like 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. Now this unlike everyone else is also helpful because, again, when you know your clients, you know that they're really not happy about having to hire someone. And there's so many just really bad copywriters on Upwork. And just dissing them and showing that you're the only good option is gonna help. Again, I just gave more advice, and I was just likable. I just want you to notice one thing, how I really tried with the advice. I really put in effort, even though it was an invite. When you get an invite, you still need to put in effort. Because most people won't. And again, when they just get 5 boring messages back, and then you give them this, it's different. It's much different. Okay, let's see what the next thing is. I completely forgot. What are we talking about next? Okay, what jobs to apply to? Let's see. I apply to jobs by going here into the search bar and writing email copywriting. That's how I apply. I don't put any filters, even though I could. And then I'm just looking. I avoid anything that's ChatGPT. That's completely, mostly I avoid it if it's ChatGPT. So, because if they can't put the effort in to write a job post, they probably might not even hire. And you wanna apply to the jobs that people that you see. It's very likely that they might actually hire somebody because there's just a billion ghost jobs. People post them and then just never look at them again. And it wastes your money, and I hate that. And I don't want it to happen to you or me. So you need to look for good reviews, a higher rate, and the proposal and the job post description. For example, let's go here. Click it, please. Give me a sec. All right. See, this is a job that you could apply to if you wanted to. Probably the pay is too high, but whatever. Look for these signs. 50% higher rate isn't high. To jobs like these, you don't necessarily want to apply. The reviews are amazing though. If this had a very nice description, I would probably apply. Right now, I'm not going to. Let me find a bad job. There's a million of them. Give me a second. For example, this payment unverified, $0 spent. I never applied to those, and I didn't even used to apply to those because they just won't hire probably. Look, 3 jobs posted, 0 hire rate. You do not want to apply to things like this. So I guess that's it for this section. I don't know what this is, whatever. Oh, I got a message from someone, great. Let me see, this looks good. Again, the hire rate isn't too high. And now this all depends on how much money you have, because it doesn't mean that they won't hire. If you're quite tight on budget, then really pick and choose the jobs that you're going to apply to. A 47% high rate, if everything else is not stellar, maybe rethink it. I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, but just kind of feel it out a little bit. I would apply to this because some connect don't mean anything to me. I can just buy more. So I would. Actually, I wouldn't because the pay is low, but you get what I mean. Now, next point. This is also important. Not as important as the proposals, but still important. And I'm gonna try to templatify this as much as possible so you can just write one and start looking for work. Okay? Okay. Before continuing, I just want to show you this. What the fuck? Messages. I just got a job for $40 per hour for something that I don't even do. What? I don't know. Probably a scam. And you don't want to get scammed, but there are scams. And when you get something random or something that's literally too good to be true, too easy, please be careful. Don't write any passwords anywhere, and that's it. Because I almost did get scammed once, and I don't want that to happen again. And I will be declining this one offer. Very, very probably. Actually, for sure. Let me do it right now. This is the version that got me into business. Now I have a completely different, not completely, quite different Upwork profile. And please do not copy it. Not for me, for you, because it is not going to work for you. In my profile, I'm bold and I'm quite cocky. And I say that I'm pretty much the best that they can hire because I know that I write very well. But before getting any work, that was not true. I still knew what I was doing. It was still fine. I was still hireable. I still knew things, but I did not have the confidence that I have now. So if you try and copy my profile, if you try and find it and even like get any sentence out of it, that's not going to work. Now, this is what is going to work, which is still positioning you as a high-end freelancer, even though you're not, but that no one needs to know. And again, don't just steal this. That's so stupid. Please don't just steal this. So it starts with, so you're looking for email campaigns that take your business to unseen heights. What's important in the first line? It's important for it to be grabby. It's important for it to contain a keyword. Then, you want to position yourself as the only good copywriter that can do the job. Let me show you here. Position yourself as the only freelancer that's actually any good on this site. That's not true, but you'll say it is. Then you will only do one thing if you want to come off as an expert. You want to do either email marketing or blogs or whatever, just one thing, so you can say that you specialize in this one thing. Now, you won't really do one thing. If someone hires you for something else, you're gonna do it, who cares? But for the profile's sake, that's what you want. Then, dissing other copywriters, extremely important. If you're cheap, make fun of the expensive ones. If you're expensive, make fun of the cheap ones. You just need to make fun of other copywriters that are pretty much the opposite of you. You inject a lot of personality and you show off your skills. You show off you're a writer, because you are, remember? And if you can't write this on your own without just copying mine, for example, you really are not worthy of having clients, because these are people that actually want to spend money to improve their business. And if you're not confident and if you can't write something good, then please just don't waste people's time. Okay. Tell people also what's going to happen. When you tell clients, this is happening, then this, people love it. People love it because it shows a lot of authority. So as you'll see, there are tactics to make you seem like an authority, even though you're not. And that doesn't matter, because it's essentially selling yourself. And even though you don't have any credibility, it doesn't mean you're not good at what you do. So if you are good at what you do, then you have the complete right to write with authority, even though you might not have landed even a job. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you haven't landed a job yet, if you have no experience. If you're good, you deserve it. If you're not, you don't deserve it. That's it. Where was my profile now? Oh, here. Okay. If you're looking for email campaigns for your online business, I might be the only person on this site to deliver what you want. I hear you, and I say that I'm the only one. I show I'm the only person on this site that can help people. Then I say, I diss other copywriters. Again, use your own words. I diss them, and I use my personality, my writing skills. Then I say how different I am from them, how I literally know everything that you need to know and how it goes and blah, blah, blah. I say it in a fun way. Again, I'm the only. And then I used to tell them in this way, I used to tell them what's gonna happen. When you work with me, first we'll get on a deep dive, blah, 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 blah. Then, another way to get amazing authority is saying that you don't work with anyone. To qualify to work with me, I said here, you must send me a testimonial or proof that your product is ethical and helpful. See this qualified to work with me? I don't work with anyone. That's authority. That's honestly great. You don't have to say, oh, I make millions and I don't have time for you, so if you don't pay at least this, blah, blah, blah. Someone else could say it. You can't, and I couldn't at that point. Doesn't make any sense. But this one, it's a qualifier that you genuinely even believe in. Like, I don't want to scam people, you know? So shows authority, it shows you're honest, it shows you're genuine, it's very good. And then just the CTA. This profile, this structure of profile worked great for me. Now I made it much more specialized and with much more authority. I actually just made it today, so I'll see the results, but this worked great. Saying that you're the only one that can help them, dissing other copywriters, making fun of them, showing how good you are, how different you are, telling the client exactly what's gonna happen. Write this down, please, and then just do it, and everything's gonna work out just fine. Where was I? Tell them what's gonna happen. Tell them you don't work with anyone. Put a little obstacle. If you know anything about copy, you know that's a very powerful sales tactic. And then give the CTA. What is this? It's the same thing. All right. So now we've covered the profile. After this video, really take some time to write the profile and write it well. Next on the list is how to make a convincing enough portfolio. I say convincing enough because that's literally all it needs to be. And if you've never worked with anyone, who cares? That does not matter. From experience, I can tell you that nobody ever asked me. In those stages, nobody ever asked me, how many sales did you make? Who was this for? Show me, blah, blah. And I had that fear, and that's what kind of kept me from making so many custom things for proposals and also portfolio pieces for my own profile. But that does not need to stop you. If someone can read that and be like, wow, this is so nice. This is, ooh, I'm so intrigued. Ooh, I would love to click this link now. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. If you have that, that's enough. You don't have to worry about it. I used to worry so much about what they will think when I apply for a job, when I write this, write that. And it did not help me. And I only made progress when I stopped caring and actually started applying to the jobs that I wanted to, that I started making the portfolio pieces. I stopped putting these things off, and then it paid off. How do you do this? You find random businesses that seem cool, and you just pretend you're making emails or landing pages, blogs, whatever for them. And you have at least 6 good enough pieces in your profile. Actually, I can show you how it looks for me. Again, if you try and take this profile, it's not gonna work. So there, these portfolio pieces, you at least have 6. I have a bit more, but I also have some old ones that suck, so I should remove that. But anyways, you come up with at least 6, and that's it. Then, next up, how much should you charge? How much money? Some advice that I've heard from my course I went through just did not help me. And this advice was to anchor your hourly rate, which means to put a very high hourly rate to kind of get this amazing authority vibe to your profile, which definitely helps when you have some proof, but it did not help me in the beginning. I tried starting with 50 per hour, so I could seem high value, but without any tangible results, I could not sell it. I could not get a job like that. So I went back to 15 per hour. I also went to 30, humbled myself. Oh, I'm only gonna work for 30. Bro, that's so much for when you just begin. It's fine to work for 15 per hour for a bit. It's fine, which is what I did. And then I got a job, the first job. And I was so happy about it. Anyways, I started with 15. And then every couple of jobs, I would increase it for $10 to $15. So after 15, after 2 months, after 1 month, I was at 30 per hour. Then after another month, now I'm at 40 per hour. Or at least I would be if the guy didn't withdraw the offer when I told you about earlier. Should have accepted this one. Whatever. then in the job posts, you always want to quote your profile rate, no matter what the job says. If you're in the range, profile rate. If you're outside the range, if the job is until $30 and you put until 10 and you put 15, put 15, doesn't matter. Because no one is really gonna put the maximum amount of money that they're willing to charge. So they will often spend more money. They're fine with spending more money with the right candidate. So don't worry about it, and always just quote your profile rate, your hourly rate. How to crush the interview stage. See here, I'm not gonna show you conversations because that's really not fun to do, but I'm gonna try to explain. Something that helped me a lot was remembering that I was a professional copywriter even before I made money. At first, when I just was learning about it, it was more of a hobby, and I was kind of ashamed of it and everything and blah, blah, blah. But then when I truly started trying, I wanted to stop thinking that way, and I started envisioning myself as a professional even without making any money. And that really helped me in the interview stage because I wasn't needy anymore. Needy is the best way that I can explain it. Neediness is the number one thing that's gonna kill your interview stages. Kill. So also not needing the job, like having another job or just not spending absolutely everything you have is really good. So you don't need the job. It would be nice, it would be great, but if you should put yourself into a position where you don't need it, so you're not desperate, you're not needy, then you want things to be short. You don't want any maybes, no ifs, buts, and maybes, if you know what I mean. You don't want to put any please, any sorry. Okay, please is fine, you have to be polite, but no sorry and things like that, excuse me. No insecurities, because that's just repulsive. You just seem like a noob. Then don't negotiate on price. You quote your price, and that's it. You don't want to lower it. You don't want to lower it for no reason. The only time that you should lower it, the only way you should lower it, is by getting something in return. If they're like, yeah, we can, but can you do it for this price? You can say yes if you can refer me to 3 people, for example. Or yes if I can do a case study on you, or things like this. Or if you give me another week, or stuff, generally stuff like that. Then still put in effort. Even if you're speaking to someone, you want to kind of show that you know what you're talking about. You want to give some tips if they ask how you would do something and stuff like that. Next point is flip the script and actually interview the client. They're just as uncomfortable as you are. They don't want to do it, just as you are. They see a reply from you. They're like, oh, just as you are. You can flip the script. You can ask them questions about their business, how much revenue they're generating, what they're doing, how big their list is. And then you look like the expert. When you have your set of questions that you ask the client, that's good. Then only get on a sales call if the client asks for it. You don't, like I've also used to do that. I would try to schedule this sales call. Why? Like there's no need. Like you have the messages, it's completely fine. And if they want to get on a sales call, then you obviously get on the sales call. And on the sales call, again, you flip the script and interview the client. You ask things like, what made you reach out to me? How come you want a copywriter? What problems do you have in your business that a copywriter will solve? Well, what's your dream outcome with this job? Blah, 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 blah. You basically ask questions. They talk about their pains, about their dream outcomes, blah, blah, and they pretty much sell themselves on you. That's pretty much how it goes. So if you get on a sales call, it helped me having the script ready. You can just find it online. It's really something that everybody gives for free. Don't worry about it. But the philosophy of the interviews either messages or sales calls is that you ask them the questions. If you respond to their questions and then counter with a question, for example. You want to be in the mindset that you're a professional, you're interviewing them to see if they're a good client, because you're not desperate, even though you have no clients. You don't want to work with just anyone. You want to work with almost everyone. You don't want really tight deadlines with huge expectations and just rude people, because they will never be happy with what you give them. They will always have something to say. They will leave you a bad review. You don't want that. Trust me, you don't want that. It seems as if you just want any client. And that's like, I couldn't care less if it was a bad client. Like, just give me a client. Then I got a bad client, and it was ass. The experience was bad. The client was bad. I got underpaid, but okay, who cares at the beginning stages. I got worked so much more than I wanted to, than I thought I would, and things like that. He was rude, but whatever. So you need to investigate the clients before you start the job. That's what I want to say. And also, to save your ass from a lot of bad experiences, never ever accept an offer before clearly defining the scope and the timeline. Never. What is the scope? The scope is exactly what you're gonna do, how it's gonna go down. Timeline is the timeline. So a clearly defined scope would be, I will make 5 emails for you for this price in a week, and you have 1 free revision, for example. Now, if you work on hourly rate, you don't care, because if they give you 1 billion revisions, okay, you work more, you get more money, okay, fine. But if you work on a fixed price and they just ask you for revision after revision after revision after revision, you end up on another email, that's not good. If you just do email marketing for $200, that 10 emails, 50 emails, 1 million emails, what does that mean? You have to clearly define the scope of the project and the timeline. Be a professional. Final stage, you got a job. Woo, yes. Let's celebrate. And then work on the project. This is what I do. Before accepting an offer, I also send a short market research questionnaire, because they sent you an offer which you still need to accept. So they want you to accept it. They've sent it to you. So you send them a short market research questionnaire for the voice, for the target audience, for the offer, and all these kind of things. And then they give it to you, and it makes your life so much easier. It makes it so much easier for you to understand. And then you also do your own market research, but you already understand the basics. And it's so much easier to do when you know what the product is about. You can't write about something you don't know. And that's it. Next, just always over-deliver. Now, different people have different opinions of what over-delivery is. I would tell you to not do things for free, because I see it as you think you're not good enough and you feel like you need to overcompensate and make the client happy by giving free stuff. But I feel like that makes you less of a professional, and it lowers your value in their eyes. And you don't want that. You got the job, you were high value, whatever, but you still want to have that image of a really capable freelancer. So the way I over-deliver is that I do things fast. I do things really well. I also present what I worked on. I will make a document or a big message explaining why things work. I will give also ideas. This is something that my clients love. I will give ideas that genuinely benefit the client. I will write something. I will make something that they wanted me to. And then I'll go to some page, for example. Their webpage, and I'll record the Loom videos saying what could be improved, or I expand on the task I did, and I tell them what their next steps should be. And honestly, not just to win more work, but also for what's good for them, and it ends up winning more work. So that's how you turn a lot of jobs into many. You give ideas, you record a Loom video, something that's wrong, that's not written as well, things like that. And then they're like, oh yeah, really? Oh, makes sense. I love the way you write. Here's another job. Perfect for you. So that's over delivery, in my opinion. Some people also tell you to write something for free, to do market research for free, to add another email. And generally, if it's a lot of work, if it's a substantial amount of work, I wouldn't do it. I see it as devaluing yourself. Obviously, if it's if you need to make 100 headlines, for example, for something, 20 subject lines, and you make 25, that's good over delivery, because it's not like you did really anything much more. You just did a little bit. If you gave a delighter, let's say, that's what you want to be doing. You don't want to do important work for free, in my opinion. Except for in the interview stage, if they ask you to write something quick, then yeah, you can write something to just make them see that they can trust you. But again, not a huge entire sales page, for example, like one email, stuff like that. And that's it. Now let me just go through everything just one more time, and just say the most important things in every section, because I want to drill this in your mind. I want you to remember them, and I want you to write them down. So for the proposals, forget the me, forget the you. Do stock level research, show it simple, give advice, attach a portfolio piece that you made just for them, and don't say you made it for them. Apply to jobs that have a very high chance of actually hiring someone, and that are likely to treat you well because of their good reviews. In the profile, show you're the only freelancer to really do the job. This other copywriters specialize in one thing, inject a lot of personality, tell them what's gonna happen. Make a portfolio that's convincing enough. Start at however much you're comfortable with. I start at 15. I think that's a good starting point. And then every couple of jobs, raise it. In the interview stage, view yourself as a professional. Don't be needy. If you negotiate on price, make them give you something back. Ask the client questions and interview the client actually. Tell them when they can send you an offer. Tell them what the next steps are. Tell them what you need from them. You run them through a process, not them through you. And if they try running you through a process, go with it and counter with your own. Always define scope and timeline. And over-deliver. Give the best that you can. Literally give the best. You have to give everything you've got. And that's it. I hope this guide helps you. And if you want help, if you came up to here, then I want to talk to you. If you have any questions, you can ask me. You can send me your proposals, I'll review them, and I'll tell you how to improve them. I can tell you how to improve your profile. So if you watched all the way through here and you have questions, you need help, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I'll put it in the description, and just shoot me your question. I'm gonna reply as soon as I see it. Have a good one.